crazy how time flies. Yeah, it's crazy. Anyway, this live stream may or may not be for you, but consider this: 19 years ago. What am I talking about? June 26, 1999. Let's start there. This is about longevity. I guess back then, I was young, trying to figure out what's what. Mother was in the business, security business and whatnot. So I'm just trying to find a job, trying to stay off the streets. Different influences and things was going on, so I had to find something to do. Was in and out, worked at McDonald's, ran around, just trying to find myself or whatever the case may be. So June 26, 1999, I decide, hey, why not, sign up, become a security guard. I was trying to do it before I had got my training and all that stuff like that. Got into the security field. So, that's when the legend started. What's up, my creative spirit? Appreciate you for coming through. So, at this time, I decide, hey, it can't hurt. Why not sign up? And on that day, June 26th, I got into the business. So as I got into the business, you start working and whatnot, not knowing whether or not this is gonna turn into anything or whether or not you're gonna last or how things are gonna transpire or whatever the case may be. But as time went on, I realized, hey, you know what? Maybe there's something here. Maybe you could at least make a living. I'm not saying this is something that I wanted to do for the rest of my life or something that I was passionate about or whatever. Sometimes you don't choose the job choose you, or as they say in the streets, I didn't choose the game chose me. Literally. So it gets like that. It's in the family. My mother did this, my father did this, I do this, my brother did this. There's other people in my family, who have been in the business, and who knows, maybe one day I'll start my own company. So that's what that is. Just in time prepping. Appreciate you for coming through. So today is an important day for me because, 19 years ago, um, I became, I guess in the, security business. I got in there, was registered or whatever the case may be. And to have this time where I'm still registered, I still have, my health, or I need to get healthier. What's going on? Yeah, what's going on? How's everything, Anthony? Appreciate you for coming through. Just talking about, just milestones and making it in life. Just thank you for the thumbs up. Thank you for the 5 people watching. This is important for me personally. I mean, I don't know how you feel about it, but this is important for me personally because it just shows that I was able to last this long. I remember, one of my first jobs, working as a peer educator. I'm a 15, 16-year-old trying to tell 18 and 19-year-olds how to have safe sex, and condoms and all that stuff. It was kind of funny, actually. And then I went on to McDonald's, working at McDonald's, as the age of 17, and I did that for about 10 months. And then, I went from that to going into security, which leads me to this live stream, justice for Junior brother. Yeah, there you go. There you go. Definitely. Um, and it led me to the point where I became the security guard. Then I was in the National Guard, and I was back and forth between that and whatnot. So I was registered security guard, basically back and forth in the National Guard, the Army National Guard. I was doing some things. I was working like 2 or 3 jobs at one point at 18 and 19. No, not 18, 19, around 22. So I was really making some money doing some things and whatnot. And you learn so much, over time, just working and sticking with things. And sometimes you wonder and say, wow, I've been in security all this time. What have I amount to? What have I done? Have I grown? Have I changed and stuff like that? And there's a lot that I've done. I've able to build up my credit, help, support and help my family out with different things. Been there for times, when they needed me and stuff like that. Was able to do things to serve my country. I was able just to, find myself as a person, as an individual, just to mature. I made mistakes along the way. I've had jobs, been fired from jobs. I just put out a video today, kind of explaining where and how I came. Yeah, nah, that's cool, Anthony. You said you put out a video about how you came to cuss through beware. Okay. I got you, Anthony. I'm gonna check that out. Definitely, I'll check that video out. But I don't know. It's just crazy because you realize that you know it seems like nothing has changed, when you look back, but you realize as looking back, and if you're aware, so much has changed, so many things are not the same, just, I mean, I don't know, this is just personal for me, this is just something for me. It's like, wow, you survived the times, you got through, the situations, and I just realized that closet is open behind me. Hopefully I ain't got nothing falling out of there, but anyway, forget that. You didn't see that, just, don't look. Nah. But anyway, the significance of me doing this live stream, and I hate to say it's almost for selfish reasons, it's a timestamp to mark it for me to remember, because the ironic part is that I'm actually off today. This is actually how it was in the beginning when I first started security. Life goes so fast, but it goes slow, and keep your grind on a good path, brother. Yeah, definitely, Anthony. I'm definitely gonna keep grinding on a good path and going where I gotta go. Thank you for your service, country, and National Guard Sergeant. Thank you, Creative Spirit. I appreciate that. Things didn't work out the way I would like them to, but it was still a great experience and whatnot. What's going on, Kim Sue? I appreciate you for coming through. I've done some things in my time. I've definitely done some things in my time, but this is kind of a selfish live stream that I'm doing, just a timestamp as kind of a remembrance. And it's kind of funny because 19 years ago, this is how it was. Next year I make 20 years. Good to see you again too, Kim Soo. So 19 years ago, this is how it was when I first started. This is kind of the point when I first started. I was actually, I don't remember if I actually worked that day, but I think it was like one of the first days or whatever the case may be. I might have been off on the Tuesday and Wednesday. I'm not sure. I don't remember. I think the first day I actually started working was a Thursday or something like that. I don't know. It just seems like no matter what, I've been off on Tuesdays and Wednesdays for most of my security experience. I've had different days off, Saturdays and Sundays, and Friday, Saturday, Thursday, Friday, stuff like that. But just to be able to last. I hope you all here having a splendid day. Just to remember to smile. Yeah, I remember to smile. I appreciate that, Anthony. Smile and enjoy life and be happy. Also today I'm going to the Mets game. I have the tickets back there somewhere. I don't want to, get up and go get it right now, but it is what it is. I have it back there. It's just something to be appreciative. And then the reason I can say this as well is try to be appreciative of the passing of time and being able to survive through, different situations and things that you're going through. Be grateful for the moment that you're in. You know what I'm saying? Don't take it for granted that, you've been given what you've been given. And that's why this live stream is important for me, to just take a moment to commemorate that, to be thankful, yeah. No, the tickets are free. They're behind home plate. These tickets are $337. So and the funny thing about going to the Mets games or whatever the case, they're playing the Pittsburgh Pirates. So every Mets game that I've been to before, I'm talking about Shea Stadium, and even Yankee games, the new ones, I've never paid for a ticket, and I've had good tickets. It pays to have friends or people who have some kind of money in their pocket, or got an extra ticket floating around or whatever, and they want to send. They say, all right, go ahead, just sit in my seat. So basically I got tickets behind home plate. If I gave you these tickets, you would go, Anthony. Let's just say it like that. I might even be on TV. Tigers baby, he said this shit. It's all good, Anthony. It's all good. But I got good tickets. I got $330-something tickets. I'm not gonna say no. I mean, now these are nosebleed seats. I'll probably be like, you know what, I got things to do. I'm sick. I can't make it. But hey, and it's free food. So I'm gonna have a good afternoon. So it's kind of crazy how things kind of work out. Yeah, Kensu. So who knows? Maybe I'll show the tickets later. I'm not gonna do a vlog, because if anybody watches any of my vlogs, the last time I went to was it City Field, I actually did a vlog, about that. It was a pretty cool vlog. It don't make sense. I don't want to have the redundancy going. I don't want to have Mel vlogs again. I'm back. Nah. We don't have to do all that unless it's one of the greatest games ever. And two, I don't want to get sued by anybody. I kind of went in, all the stuff that I put out there. But that's just the point. Anyway, like I said, this live stream is not about that. This live stream is just about the fact that I'm grateful. 19 years ago, I was able to get into the business, to just, put money in my pocket to stay off the streets. And the business I'm talking about is the security field, and I've risen to the supervisor level. Who knows? Maybe I'll go to, executive levels and stuff like that. What I try to do now in the business is to become more of a manager, to become, more of, I guess, a complete, I don't know, a complete security guard, if that makes any sense. Because I'm somebody who can really just really be of a value point. I mean, more into the delegation and stuff like that. 1999 seems like a different lifetime. Yes, it was Desert Pioneer. 1999. Wow. Things weren't digitized yet. We still hadn't get onto the verge of Y2K. I mean, looking back on the times. I mean, what was it? I was 18, going on 19 at the time. Can you believe it? A young baby face Mel. You know what I'm saying? Looking with my boyish grin, literally. You know what I'm saying? Had real hair on my head. And it was a different time. I thought I knew everything back then, and I didn't. I darn sure didn't know. So, sometimes you almost shed a tear thinking about that time. I mean, I made it through, man. I mean, it was some rough times. It was some rough days. I remember my first actual security job was with John C. Mandel. It's a company that's not even open anymore. It existed. I don't want to stitch them out. They used to do some shady stuff, but we're gonna leave it at that. I mean, the company don't exist anymore, but they did some things that I'm not gonna get into or whatever the case. At the time, I didn't know it was illegal to do, but that's just me. The company, I think, was bought out by another company, but that was up there in the Bronx. And one of my first jobs was at the Pulaski Sky Bridge. I can tell you the story about that if anybody wants to hear the story about that. So I remember going out there with the supervisor. Never been to the Pulaski Sky Bridge in my life, at least not under there. It was a DOT site, Department of Transportation site. So we go there to this site, and I'm like, I don't know if this is on the borderline of Queens or wherever this is, but I see this big bridge, and there's these, DOT, yellow DOT trucks, and, like I said, there's this yard, and everything is closed down, and all the workers have left, and there's this booth, and there's a phone. Like I said, I could have jonesed on the phone all night. This is pre cell phone. Like I said, this is before smartphones. This is pre smartphone, but cell phones were out at the time. So this is pre smartphone. I didn't even have a cell phone at this time. This is, like I said, this is how far back we're going. When I first started in the game, a lot of stuff in security wasn't even digitized yet. Your paperwork and scanning and all that stuff. You government level stuff. That's if you had digital stuff, or your files were digital, you probably was working for the government. But we ain't gonna get into all that. Anyway, so this is 1999, first job. Go out there to the Pulaski Sky Bridge with the supervisor, and we're walking around. He's talking about the Morris patrols. People don't know Morris patrols. You take a little thing to show that are doing your rounds, and putting like this digital thing up there as a marker for the actual post that you're walking around to. So he tells me, he said, here's the yard, here's the vehicles. You can watch that. There's no bathroom, there's no lights, there's a dark booth, there's a phone. The store's closed at 6, and I'm supposed to be working in until like 11, 12 in this yard, right? But that wasn't the fun part. The fun part was, he says, okay, when you're walking around, you're gonna need this 2x4. And I'm like, what do I need a 2x4 for if I'm doing security and I'm just hitting the markers and I'm just going around to make sure, what's going on. Chris said, it says me to look back, we really had to make it back then, and you struggled. Yes, we did have to struggle. But the struggles make us stronger, what I'm saying? They make us better understanding and appreciative of where we are. So back to the story. So yeah, he's telling me, the supervisor's telling me, the field supervisor saying, you're gonna need this 2x4. And I'm saying, well, why do I need a 2x4 if I'm just going around just to check, the markers and whatnot? Guys, is there some elements, some gang elements? I might have to get active and you throw the hands on them or whatever? I don't know. Is this something I need to rethink? And I was only there for one day, so I'm doing coverage. This is my first day. I'm there for one day to cover. They're trying to find me a site. I'm out there by the Pulaski Sky Bridge. I still got to remember where this Pulaski Sky Bridge. Yeah, no, Desert Pioneers, the 2x4 wasn't for the rats. What's going on, Kenneth fam? Appreciate you for coming through. The 2x4 wasn't for the rats. The 2x4 was because there's stray dogs in New York City. I don't know if anybody from New York, if you notice or whatever, there used to be a period in time, for some reason, don't ask me why, where all over New York, I'm talking about Brooklyn, Bronx, Manhattan, there used to be these yards there used to be, stuff where, yeah, dogs. There used to be stray dogs going around, walking around in the streets. For some reason, people in junkyards and garages thought it was okay, to just let dogs roam free, stray with no collars on, and these dogs would attack you. This was a big problem in New York City, and I'm not making this up. I'm not trying to sensationalize, this particular situation. So that's what was going on. So the 2x4 was for the dogs. So automatically, I'm not telling the supervisor this. I'm like, I think I might have said it out loud by mistake, but I was like, look, I'm gonna do these rounds. That means I'm gonna be doing these rounds until the sun goes down. What's going on? Time reveals. So what I did was, I did the rounds until the sun went down. When the sun went down and it looked like Benji or whatever, I don't know if everybody's seen the movie Benji or whatever. It looked like Benji was gonna come around the corner. I'm like, look, I'm good. I'm not getting killed on my first day or getting attacked by a dog in a neighborhood that I never been in. Just trying to make this money. So what I did was, I was there till like 11 or 12 or whatever. I did the rounds for like 5, 6 hours. That sun started going down. I said, look, black men and dog attacks, it don't look too good. This is a true story. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, yeah. We had stray packs of dogs in Iraq. So yeah, nah, listen, I'm telling you, in New York, if anybody from New York, there used to be stray dogs walking the street. I remember one time I was looking outside, there was a black stray dog out on the street just walking around like it was nothing. And these things would attack you. And the people that had the yards would just let them walk around. And I'm like, yo, why are you letting these dogs walk around? And somebody, they put me on. They said the reason they let the stray dogs walk around was because they didn't feel like walking them. So the stray dogs would walk around the block if they didn't attack anybody, and they made it back if they didn't get shot down. Literally, that was their walk. So instead of the people that own the dogs, because they weren't technically stray, but when you let them go out there with no collar, they technically kind of stray. So they kind of corralled this stuff and stopped letting people walk around with these, let these stray dogs walk around, because they would bite children or bite people or bark at folks, scare people. So they kind of curtailed that, what I'm saying? So that kind of stopped. But anyway, so this is at a time where I know about stuff like that. I know stray dog coming, you got to put in that work. I don't like hurting animals or harming animals, but like I said, if Benji is coming, or like I said, it's an attack dog, or Lassie on drugs, Rabbit Lassie, I'm like, look, somebody is either me or you. It's man versus beast. I hate to do it, Peter, if you watching. Look, I didn't hurt nobody, but my thing was, I'm not getting attacked by no stray dog, because somebody else don't feel like doing anything. And this is my first day doing security, so after that, things went well. I played this safe, because also too, there was no bathroom there. So I'm in the dark with a phone, no bathroom. I think I called my mom's or something like that, because I got hooked up by my neighbor with the job or whatever the case. And it was kind of funny because, like I said, it was just one of those moments, but that was my first day. And then now here I am, 19 years later, I'm working in a world famous church, and making a lot more money than I made back then. So, it's something to just really, take cognizance of and be grateful for, and just say, hey, you know what, I made it through, regardless of what people may think. My only regret with it all is that I wish I would have stayed in college and just finished getting my degree or whatever the case may be. But I still got time to go back, Oh, that's funny. Somebody took away my thumbs up. That's the first time this ever happened to me. Somebody take away a thumbs up. You may not have liked the story. I had 5 thumbs up and somebody took it away. So hopefully that's not a thumbs down. But anyway, it's all good. And in good fashion, actually, in honor, I guess if I'm going to be sentimental, in honor of the 19 years that I did, I'm going to end it around 19 minutes, Makes sense, maybe, 19 years, 19 minutes live stream or whatever the case may be. Thank you for listening. I appreciate it. I'm grateful. Thank you, Jesus, that I made it through another year. 19 years. It's kind of crazy. I live in the forest. We have bears. Yeah, I'm not messing with no bears. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy. But thank you for watching, folks. And hopefully this was beneficial to you. I tell you, appreciate your work, or wherever you're from, or whatever you do and whatnot. If you've been able to be in the game for a long time, then do what you got to do. Thanks, Kim Sue. Thank you, Time Reveals, Desert Pioneer, Anthony Facer, everybody for coming by. 19 years. Who would have thought, man? Next year be 20. God spare life, I will make the 20. And you will see the 20. All right, take care, folks. Spread love. It's the Brooklyn way.